Awesome. Is my volume good? Is it not too loud? Everyone can hear it? Okay, awesome. Well, we're already in a seat, so I'm going to invite us to start in a seated position. But if you're laying down, you can absolutely stay laying down. So the first few minutes of the class, we're going to focus on our pranayama, which is our breath work. It's extremely important, especially when we're doing, some challenging poses. You can always come back to your breath. So I invite you to close your eyes and ground into the mat and start to tune inside and take an inhale through your nose, filling up your lungs, your belly rises, and then exhale to release out of your mouth. Let everything fall back into the ground. And just keep breathing like that at your own pace, taking nice, long, deep breaths through your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. And as you're breathing, I would like you to keep your eyes closed, or if you need them partially open, that's okay too. But we're going to envision the traveling through our chakras. So we're working on our core today. So we're going to envision energy in our root chakra and our base below our spine. And we're going to send that up into our belly, our sacral, and our solar plexus, which is where all of our energy and our passion lies. Continuing to breathe through your nose into your heart and exhale. And breathing up into your throat and exhale. Let the pranayama travel up to your third eye and exhale. And breathing all the way up into your crown chakra, the top of your head. And exhale. Do this 3 more times, taking time with each breath, honoring your stillness, honoring your pranayama, your life force, letting yourself be still. And then when you finished your last breath, you can gently, slowly open your eyes and then begin to move slowly into a tabletop position. So keep your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, your fingers spread nice and far apart. And then when you inhale, drop your belly down and gaze up for a cow pose. And then exhaling, hunching, navel to spine like a cat. And again, inhale, belly drops, gaze is up, heart is lifted. And exhaling, hunching your spine like a cat. We're just warming up the spine here, so use your breath that you just grounded into your pranayama and flow. Move organically in your cat-cow. So you can sway your hips back and forth. You can do circles with your hips. You can stretch a leg back, each leg back and forth, waking up your calf muscles. So the first few minutes of class, we're just going to move slow. Moving your head around. You can turn your wrists having your fingertips facing your knees for a nice wrist stretch. Do a couple more rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling, belly drops, gaze lifts, and exhaling, knee rolls to spine. Couple more rounds here at your own pace. And then eventually, when you feel nice and evened out, find some stillness back in your tabletop. And then on an inhale, your gaze stays down at your mat, but lift your right hand up as if you're shaking someone's hand. And then we're going to raise our left foot back, and we are in bird dog. This is a core activating pose. So hold here for 3 breaths. Inhale to reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Punching your back like a cat. Inhale to reach. Exhale, knee to elbow, hunching your back like a cat. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. And then from here, we're going to move our right hand to the center of the mat, opening up our left hand to the sky. Exhaling, threading the needle through, having for a shoulder stretch. So your right hands can be extended on top of your head. Just breathe here, 2 breaths. Getting that nice shoulder stretch. Your ear can be on the mat. And exhaling to bring yourself back up. Back into a tabletop. And then we're going to do 1 round of cat-cow. So inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, cat. And then inhale the neutral spine and tabletop. Exhale, let it out. Inhale your left hand up like you're shaking someone's hand. Gaze is staring down at your mat. Right leg lifts for bird dog on this other side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow, hunching your back like a cat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, nice and long, reaching. Exhale, release. And then you're going to do thread the needle on the other side. So opposite side, left hand reaches. Exhale, send it through like you're threading a needle. Your right hand can extend above your head. Ears on the ground. Breathing here, inhaling to lengthen, exhale to sink a little bit into your hips. And then eventually finding yourself back in tabletop, taking your time as we move through these asanas. So inhale, drop your belly for cow. Exhale, cat. And back into tabletop position. I'm going to have you curl your toes under, and we're going to hover our kneecaps 1 to 2 inches for 3 to 5 breaths, doing more core activation. So inhale your knees 2 inches off the mat. Breathe here, 3 breaths. Inhale, pushing the mat away. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then on your exhale, push back into downward facing dog. For a lot of us, this is our first down dog of the day, so you can walk your dog, let your ankles and knees pop. Your legs do not have to be straight here. Make sure your fingertips are wide. And breathe. Eventually finding some stillness. inhale, look at your fingertips, and exhale to release and walk to the top of your mat. Hanging, staying low for a rag doll. Your feet can be 2 fists apart, and you can grab opposite elbows. Your knees can be bent here, and you can sway back and forth, getting a nice low back release. Maybe bending each knee back and forth. And then eventually releasing your hands, the mat, letting your head be heavy. And then inhale your hands on your shins and halfway lift, your back is flat. And then exhale, fold. And inhale, we will rise slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Standing in mountain, rooting into the earth, grounding, and then inhaling our hands to the sky. Exhale your hands to the heart. And we'll do that a couple more times. So inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to your heart. With each time we reach up, try to take more air into your lungs. So inhale, big breath through your nose. Holding, holding, and exhale. One more time, biggest breath you got. Inhale, reach. One more sip of air, hold, and exhale. And here you can release hands to the side, standing in traditional Tadasana pose. You can keep your eyes closed for this part, but I would like to invite you to set an intention for yourself, for your practice, or for anybody in your life. If that is not calling to you right now, you can just sit in silence and stillness in Tadasana. And then when you're all set, eyes can come back open. Inhale, reach. And exhale into a chair pose. So you want to be able to see your toes in chair. This is called awkward pose. So sit as low as you can. You can even bounce a little bit, maybe pick up your toes for a balanced challenge. Stay here for 3 breaths, reaching and breathing, exhaling to sink a little bit. Inhale to reach, exhale to sink. One more breath. Inhale, reach, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Extended mountain. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. And I'm going to cue us into our first flow. So exhale, fold. And then inhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat, stepping into your first high plank. Your knees can be down as well. Push the mat away from you. Breathe here, 3 breaths. Inhaling to push the mat away. Exhale. Inhale, push the mat away. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale, push. Exhale, lean over your fingers and slowly come down. And keep your, or uncurl your feet. Keep them pressed together, kind of like a cobra tail. I'm going to cue us into cobra. So you can rest your forehead on the mat. Take an inhale and exhale here. And then inhale, push up. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the top of your mat and travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins. Exhale, fold. I'm going to cue us into a chair again. Sometimes if your toes are touching and your feet are out angled, it's kind of easier. So inhale, hands up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach. Fold. Inhale, back up into chair. And then wrap your right arm around your left arm. So it's important to move slowly in eagle. We're in eagle now. So right leg raises. Wrap it around your foot, or you can keep it on a kickstand. Stay in chair. We're going to do this for 2 breaths. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. Open up. Hands to heart. Lower to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Catch your breath here. Exhale, fold. Inhale up into a chair so we can do the other side for eagle. So find your footing, find your balance. Inhale, left arm under right. Beautiful. All right, now lift your left leg and crossing over into a kickstand is perfectly fine, or you can double wrap. If you do, make sure your left hips push, or your hips push back to the left and elbows are to the right. Inhale to reach, exhale to sink. 2 breaths here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. Inhale, splash. And flow. Lower down. High plank. You can do knees, chest, chin here. So drop your knees. Drop your chest. Chin. Push up into a cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So breathe here in your down dog. Catch your breath. This is a great pose to come to, just to hang out if you need a break from anything intense, and child's pose is a forever option always. So let's take a breath here together as a class. So inhale through our nose and exhale. Now bring your feet close together on the center of the mat, still in down dog. So just meeting the knife edge of your feet together. And then inhale, right leg rises for 3-legged dog. Exhale, send through. And you're setting up for your high lunge. So make sure your footing is grounded. And then inhale to slowly rise. And hands come up too. You can kind of bounce into this pose if you need a little extra. Your knee should be at a 90-degree angle, but I know that's not realistic for some of us. So just breathe here. Your core is working. Your breath is leading you. Inhale your hands to your heart. Exhale. Inhale, hinge forward slowly. And then exhale to twist, cupping your elbow outside of your right knee. Your gaze can be looking up, or you can keep your gaze down if it helps you to balance. So stay here for 3 breaths. Option to open up your arms for more of a deeper twist. Breathe into the discomfort. Exhale. 1 more breath. Hands back to prayer. Inhale to center. Back into your high lunge. And then frame your foot. Send your foot back. High plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Again, breathe here. Find your grounding. Connect back into your pranayama. And then bring your feet back together, center of the mat. Inhale your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, send it through. Take your time here. Move mindfully up into our high lunge. Breathe, inhale to deepen into your pose. Exhale, reach. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, turn. Staying here for 3 breaths. Your knee can be on the ground if you need it to be. That's totally okay. Just breathe into this. And inhale to come back up. Back into your high lunge. 1 breath here. And exhale to flow to the ground. Flows are always optional. You can always skip the flow. But if you are, we will meet back in down dog. Drop your knees to the ground. And let's do a quick child's pose while we set up for the next standing sequence. So knees can be wide. Breathe here. Honor your body and your mind and your spirit. All right, take one last breath where you are. One last breath in this child's pose anyway. Empty out your lungs. Come up into a tabletop slowly. And then eventually pushing yourself back into a downward facing dog. Fingers are nice and spread. Feet are hip width apart. Inhaling, exhaling, breathing into your down dog. On your next inhale, bring your right leg to the sky. And exhale, step through. Stepping back into a high lunge. Staying in high lunge for 3 breaths. Inhaling to reach up. Exhaling to sink. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And then let's open up to warrior 2. So you can adjust your footing. Your heel is facing the center of the knife edge of your left foot. Inhale. Exhale, flip your palm. Keep your hips and feet as they are. And inhale to reach back for a reverse warrior. Stretch all those muscles in your ribs. Inhale back to warrior 2. Keeping our hips still. Exhale into extended side angle. Your elbow can be resting on your knee. Breathe here. Breathe into whatever feeling or emotion is coming up. And back into warrior two. Inhale, reach your arms and bend into your knee a little bit more. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Stretch and reach. Inhale back to center. Exhale, extended side angle. Stay here for 3 breaths. You got this. You're doing amazing. And back to center, warrior two. We're gonna do that one more time because this is core yoga. So reach back. Beautiful. Inhale, center. And extended side angle. Inhale back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down. Step back into high plank. Knees can be down, or you can do knees, chest, chin. Pushing up into a cobra. And exhaling into downward facing dog. So again, find your footing in down dog. Find your breath here. I know that this pose can be challenging. It took me a while to get used to, but this is supposed to be our resting spot. So take a couple breaths here before we set up for the next side. All right, so inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, send it through. Setting up for high lunge. Inhaling to rise. Stay here for 3 breaths. Inhaling to reach. And exhaling to sink. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. And 1 more. Inhale, reach. And let's open up to warrior two on the left side. Breathe into this pose, this hip opening pose. Your core is working and holding you. Inhale, flip your palm and reverse your warrior. Getting that beautiful stretch on the left side of your body. Breathe into it. And back into warrior two on your exhale. Inhale, extended side angle. And we're going to do this 3 times total. So just so that you get used to it. Breathe. Back into warrior two. Reground. Find your breath. Flip your palm. Reverse your warrior. Inhale back to center. And exhale, extended side angle. Breathe here. Inhaling to reach, exhaling to sink. And back up to warrior two. 1 more time. Flip your palm. Inhale, reverse. And back to center. And inhale, extended side angle. Inhale to center, warrior two, just for a breath. And exhale, frame your foot. Flow, skip the flow. Whatever your body needs. Exhale back into a down dog. Inhale to look up and travel to the top of your mat. Slowly rise. Moving nice and slow after that little workout. Exhale, hands to heart. And then our last standing posture, I'm going to cue us into a tree pose. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can keep your foot up just like this. Try to keep it open. You can inhale your hands to your heart or up. Or if you want more of a little challenge with your balance and your core, you can bring your foot on the inside of your thigh or your lower calf. Just don't place it on your knee. So inhale, hands, wherever your hands want to be. They can be up, they can be at your heart. We're going to breathe here. Find a still point to focus on. Concentrate on your breath. Feel the energy rooting through your left foot, or whatever foot you're balancing on. Beautiful trees. Inhale your hands to your heart. Slowly release your foot and shake it out if you want. Shake out your other foot. And then we'll go on the other side. So ground into the opposite leg, your balancing leg, getting energy from the earth. And then when you're ready and you feel balanced, you can bring your foot up to the comfort of you and whatever hand variation you want here. Finding a still point to focus on, focusing on your breath. Your core is holding you, your breath is leading you. And release out of that. And then we're going to do one more sun salutation, and I'm going to bring us down to the mat. So inhale, reach. Exhale, fold down. We're just going to skip the flow. Unless you really want to flow, go for it. Otherwise, let's meet on our bellies. And you can put one hand on top of the other and just rest your forehead here. Just ground yourself here for a couple minutes. And we're going to be setting up for more core and low back strengthening. So just take some breaths here. And when you feel like you're nice and ready to go for our next sequences, you can bring your hands out in front of you and your feet hip width apart. So this is the pose that we call super yogi. So if you can imagine Superman flying over Madison, over the Capitol, that's what we're going to envision. So right now, just keep your forehead on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, do nothing. And then when you inhale, I want you to lift your arms and your legs, only balancing and using your core strength and keeping your gaze on the ground. So inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lift more. Exhale, stay. Inhale, one more lift. And release, right cheek to the mat. One more breath here. Exhale. And then I'm going to cue us into a modified locust pose. So bring your feet together, kind of like when you're in your cobra. Keep your feet pressed together. And then you can clasp your hands behind your back. So inhale, looking down. Exhale, breathe out. Inhale, reach everything back. Gaze is straight ahead. So breathe here, 3 breaths. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stay. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stay. One more breath, you guys. Inhale, reach. Release, exhale, left cheek to the mat. Great job, everyone. And now I'm going to cue us into a pigeon pose. You are welcome to stay on your back for a pigeon on your back if that works for you, or if you want the traditional pose, we're going to do a tabletop just to set us up for the pigeon. Sometimes I find it easier to move through down dog, but you can do it through table. So your right leg up and exhale your leg in front of you like this. Your toe is gonna be pointing back. This is another hip opening pose. So inhale to stay. And if you want to lower down for a resting pigeon pose, breathe here. This nice restorative, yet actively stretching your hips. All those nerves and muscles that are bunched up by the hip bones are releasing here. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then when you're ready to release, push yourself up. Release your leg. You can shake your leg around too if you want. And let's do the other side. So inhale, left leg out. Exhale, bring it in front of you. Your toes can be pointing back towards your right hip. You can inhale and look up. You can stay here, or you can move down. Take a couple breaths here. Each side can be a little different. One side might be more tense than the other. One might be more loose. And that's okay. Just breathe into it. One more breath. And exhale. Then when you're ready to come out, I'm going to have us stay how we are with our left leg underneath us. We're going to do some separate leg stretches. So keeping your left foot on your inner thigh, making sure your seat is as even as it can be. Inhaling to reach. And then exhale, turn over. You can bend your knee and grab the back of your foot, your right foot. And then once you grab a hold of your foot, option to stretch your leg out for a calf stretch, hamstring stretch. Maybe eventually your forehead touches your knee. Just stay here and breathe for 3 breaths. And then when you're ready to come out of this, you can inhale and reach your arm like a rainbow, and then switch legs. Making sure you're as even as you can be on your sit bones. Inhale, reach, and then clasp your fingers, and exhale, turn yourself towards, you want to have your whole body turn so your heart is coming towards your knee. Your knee can be bent. And if you want an extra stretch, kick into your clasped hands. Maybe your forehead reaches your knee, maybe it doesn't. Just breathe here. And then when you're ready to come out of this, the same way as we did, reaching your hand over like a rainbow. And then keep your feet together for a butterfly pose. So inhale to reach your hands And if this is as far as you go, that's perfectly fine. If you need less, you can bring your feet more away from you. Stay here for a couple breaths. And inhaling to slowly rise, and then we're going to find ourselves coming to our back for one final posture before our final resting pose. So lay on your backs and then bring your right knee into your chest. And then drag your left knee across your body, opening up your right arm, extending your arm and looking towards your right arm for a supine spinal twist, my personal favorite ever. So just look towards your fingertips and get that nice, beautiful twist on your body. And eventually coming out of your twist, move slowly. Release your right knee to the ground. And take your time here, there's no rush. And then inhale, grab your left knee and squeeze it into your chest. And then with your right hand, take your outside of your left knee and bringing it across your body, opening up for the twist on the left side. So left arm extends, looking towards your left fingertips. Breathing into your pose. Twisting your wrist around if that feels good for you. And then when you feel nice and evened out, you can release out of your twist and then find yourself taking up as much or as little space as you want on your mat. And your final resting pose, Shavasana, best part of class. Some say this is the most important pose in all of the asanas. Very rare that we find rest something beneficial, but it's very important to just allow your body to be still. Thank yourself for all the hard work that you do mentally and physically. Allow yourself to just melt into your mat for the next couple minutes. Remember that you are water. Try, cleanse, flow, let go. Remember that you are fire. Burn, tame, adapt, ignite. Remember that you are air. Observe, breathe, focus, and decide. Remember that you are earth. Ground, build, produce, and give. And more importantly, remember that you are spirit. Connect, listen, know, be still. And we will close up class right here on our backs. So I invite you to bring your hands into prayer over your heart if that feels called to you. and we're going to breathe together collectively. So inhale through your nose and exhale. I bow to each and every one of you and everyone who's tuned in online. And thank you for coming to yoga today. I honor you and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.